Welcome to Takeology with your two boys in the lab so you can do the cooking. We're back here, week 8, just finished in the NFL. Got some great things to talk about. Matt McDonald, how are you doing, man?
You know I'm doing good because you know the result of our matchup from this past week. So I'm pretty high right now. I won in redraft, won in dynasty. I beat the best team in dynasty, that being your team.
Jeez, dude.
So it was a great week for me. No hard feelings between us. We're the top two teams in the league. So we're it was a game that I had Puka out, he had Amon Ra out. It was our two best players, so it was just kind of luck of the draw. He had Scadaboo go out, which we all hated to
Man,
see.
man.
Um, but it was a great matchup. He would have beat anybody else in the league. It was such a good matchup, and I look forward to seeing you again in the playoffs, sir.
I'll see you in the championship. I don't even
Yes,
need the
sir.
playoffs, dude. Let's just go to all the way. It was one of those weeks where you hate to lose, but also it was like, you know what? It is what it is. I had to just set the phone to the side and go another week, whatever. It sucks to lose, but at least I know it was for a good cause. Get you another win. I appreciate that. I could help you
No,
a
I
little bit
I
there.
appreciate I appreciate it.
I even tried to give my team a pep talk. I thought Rasheed Rice and Travis Kelce. I was like, listen, guys, I need Patrick Mahomes to throw interceptions. The Chiefs defense to just let them let. Oh my goodness, why am I forgetting who they played? Uh,
Last night,
who did? Yeah,
Washington.
the Commanders. That's what it was. Just they go crazy. Chiefs defense would have done worse. Rasheed and Kelsey could have got touchdowns. I could have came back,
I
but
mean,
it was a
to be
one
fair,
percent chance.
Rasheed and Travis both had great performances. I was
They
getting a little
did.
nervous. I told you I traded for Mahomes to directly counteract the Kelsey and Rice that I was going against, and it worked. But I was getting scared because Rasheed had a rushing attempt that went for a touchdown and got called
Yeah.
back. So it was a scary game. It was very close, and we'll just have to see when both teams are full with no buys. We'll just have to see what happens. It's two great teams.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun to watch, at least. I mean, that's the beauty of fantasy football. There's the ups and downs, and the guys you thought would do good, Christian McCaffrey, who I was thinking, man, you're consistent, projected for like 24 every week, gets 2 rushing attempts
That's a
in the
that's a
first
terrible
half. What
that's a terrible
what are we
game.
doing? Yeah,
Everybody was questioning why the Texans were favored going into that game, and I guess Vegas knows something that we don't when they set these
yeah,
lines because I mean 49ers had been playing well. Mac Jones has I think he had lost one game before this, so he was playing good. It was kind of weird. It was not what I was expecting. I was scared to death of Christian McCaffrey, and he's kind of the reason I won with his down performance.
yeah. I think you would have beat me regardless. Hitting 190 is tough, but it could have been a closer match. Why would you give a guy that has been dominating for your team 2 carries in the first half? I truly just don't understand that. I don't get it.
Yeah, they got down early, and Houston's
Yeah,
defense is so darn good.
they do have a good
They
defense.
really didn't have a chance to run the ball in that game. So it was the perfect storm for me going against Christian McCaffrey this week. It
It was.
it couldn't have gone better, and I prayed that night. Thank you, Jesus. It was a
you
great
know,
week.
this guy. I should have prayed harder. He outprayed me, and the Lord heard his prayers more than mine. Man, come on, that's crazy. But fantasy, it was a good week overall, though. Truly, on a bye week, 6 teams on a bye. I think it's 6 teams on a bye. To have the production that we had in terms of fantasy, it was really good. But we're going to jump into our lab report. One thing I did not want to talk about today on the podcast at all, just because number one, you hate to see any player get injured, but Cam Scatabo, what man, dude's ankle literally just snapped, dislocated. They reduced it on the field, which I just now this weekend learned what that meant. Shout out to all the doctors out there, specifically Parker Manson. But man, what this just hurts. It just sucks. A guy that is a rookie, everybody really I think likes him, and then he's just dominating, and then wow, just gets hurt. I mean, it affects you too, in terms of having him in redraft, doesn't it?
Yeah, it lost me the week, and it lost me in my heart, dude. He was the
Man,
heart and soul of that Giants team. You saw
yeah,
it on Jackson Dart's face when he saw Cam go down. It's a real gut punch for that team. They had been having success. They beat the defending champions, the Eagles, and
they played a good game too
yeah,
against
I
them.
mean, I think it was 14-7 when he got hurt. It just they were playing well. There was a fumble in that game that really it pushes me to hate the tush push more. I hate that play. It was a
Yeah,
fumble, and then they said it was forward progress stop, so it didn't count. But having him go out that way in such a gruesome injury, he had to have surgery that night. Couldn't even leave the city. Had to have it there. It's just you hate to see it, especially with a rookie who was kind of breaking out. Well, he definitely was breaking out. He's a top five running back since he's been getting the lead role. It's tough. He meant a lot to a lot of fantasy teams and the
yeah,
Giants. So you hate to see him out. We'll just hope he comes back next year, the same guy. That injury though, I mean
yeah.
that could affect you long term. That's a scary injury.
That's what I mean. I have him in dynasty, so for me, it's more long term effect, which is not good. But I was kind of nervous that this even may affect him even after recovery, just because of it. You run different when something like this happens to your leg a lot of times. Maybe not Cam. I mean, maybe not this guy, but still, it's just something that affects him. In terms of other injuries, I didn't really check the injury report much, Matt. I don't know if you have any other injuries on the. We didn't have too many, which is a good thing. But I knew. Well,
Yeah,
actually,
there's
Saquon
just a
did have a
few.
groin issue coming out of the game.
Yeah, Yeah, in the post game interview, he said I mean they're going into bye, so he has that time to kind of
Mm-hmm.
rest up. But he said he plans on being back for the Week 10 game. All indications are that he will be back. But if he's not, that definitely brings up a very important name in the waiver wire section
Uh-huh.
that we'll touch on. I mean, he got to play in this game and he looked great on the
He
touches he
did.
had. So that's definitely notable. Carson Wentz is going to have season injured or season ending shoulder. So we'll see Jimmy back in the lead role for that team. Joe
Yeah.
Flacco, he took a hard hit on his shoulder as well. Uh, it looks like it's just dealing with some soreness right now, but if he's out, that heavily affects all Bengals players. We saw what they
Oh
looked
yeah.
like without Flacco at quarterback for this team. It was basically Higgins was unplayable, Chase Brown was unplayable, Jamar was the only guy you could even play, and he didn't offer any upside because of the talent at quarterback. So hopefully Flacco's okay. Um, just scrolling through a few more here. Lamar should be back this
Yeah.
next week. We expected him back this week, which the Ravens could be in trouble with how they reported that. So we'll see how that shakes out. Quinshon Judkins, his shoulder as well.
Yep.
A bunch of shoulder injuries for some reason. He's also going into bye. He should be okay, but if he's not, that brings up another name on the waiver wire,
Dylan
Dylan
Sam.
Sampson, which we kind of saw. Excuse me, we kind of saw him early on in the season.
Yeah.
Other than
Mac
that, there
Jones
wasn't
is
any
dealing
big
with.
ones.
Mac Jones
Go
is
ahead.
also dealing with a little bit of a tweak. I want to go back to the report. Not that it's too big, because
He's
hopefully our guy hits a knee contusion day to day, so maybe nothing too crazy. But Brock Purdy and Ricky Pearsall need to get back on this field, man. Straight up. I'd love to. I think I haven't seen the reports on if they're coming back or not, or how soon. But it is, man. It'd be good to have the 49ers. They've just been through it. With Lamar, we also would love to see him back Thursday night football, which hopefully we will. But the Joe Flacco injury, Matt, if he's out, man, what do they do? Is it Jake Browning back in?
It'll be Browning because they already traded for Flacco, so they've already put resources into trading for someone. But if it is Browning, that it definitely hurts my dynasty team having Jamar Chase and Chase Brown on the
And
team.
Chase Brown.
We saw what they looked like with Browning in for them at quarterback. and it's something I don't want to see again this season. So
Yeah,
hopefully, old
no.
man Flacco can continue to play.
It will help in terms of streaming defenses against the Bengals if
Yeah, yeah,
Jake Browning
yeah.
out
That's
there,
the
because
only bright
man,
side there.
because that guy is just, last year he had some promise here and there, but it's not it. But in terms of injuries, that's really all there is. The trade deadline is coming up. Uh, Matt, do the Chiefs trade? Do they go get a running back?
So like you said, we have the doctors in the group chat, and
Yeah,
towards the end of the game last night for the Chiefs, Pacheco took a hard hit on his knee, kind of bent it inwards. It looked pretty rough on the field. He got checked out, and it seems to be okay, but at the very least, it could be sprained. Uh, our running game still has not been great, and there's a couple
yeah,
names that are up for trade. Brees Hall specifically, which he would be amazing on the Chiefs. I would love that. We could maybe sign
hmm,
him long term if we did trade for him. And then another guy, Rico Dowdle, has kind of taken over this lead role based on the coach's comments after the game. He kind of said Chuba's meant a lot to the team. That's why they gave him the opportunity to still start for the
yeah.
team. But it's just pretty evident that Rico's the more explosive player in that offense. So if Chuba Hubbard is up for trade, I would absolutely love to have him on the team. He's always succeeded when he gets the work in the NFL. So if he's a guy that's up for trade, I wouldn't mind the Chiefs making a call for him.
Chuba Hubbard to the Chiefs. I haven't thought about that one. Obviously, in terms of like you think about Alvin Kamara, they're not going to trade him that I know of. Just from reports of him saying I want to be a Saints for life.
I
You
don't
know,
even know if you'd want him. He's
I,
looked bad.
he's looked really bad, but also, man, the Saints are just a bad team. Which, in terms of talking about news, as we're on the lab report, Tyler Show, I think it's how you pronounce it, but regardless, Mr. Tyler has been named the starter for the Saints. The impact of that, I I really don't. I couldn't say if it's better or not, but at least he'll be out there. I'd rather have him than Spencer Rattler in the way he's played. But Chuba Hubbard, man, having him on fantasy, Rico Dowdle really just he came in and he balled out. So you got to move him. I feel like you got to move him. I mean, he had a pretty big contract, or he had signed an extension. I thought
Yeah, this offseason.
so. I mean, that may come into play, but I think the Chiefs that'd be beautiful to see my guy Chuba Hubbard go to the Chiefs. But I mean, think about it. That Smith guy on the
Richard.
Chiefs, Brashard's been playing pretty decent when he gets touches, and then Hunt looked really good this week. I mean, I don't
Yeah,
know.
coming into the game, we kind of expected Hunt to be out and it to be kind of the Pacheco and Smith show, have them the 1-2 punch. Smith has really excelled in the passing game. He's been used a lot in the screen game, and then he's actually got a few more carries as of recently, which we have been blowing teams out, so he's getting these carries late in games. But when he does get the carries, he's pretty explosive. He's not a big guy. He's a converted receiver. That's why he's so good in the passing game. He used to be a receiver, but I would love to see him work more into this offense if we aren't going to trade for a running back. That being said, he's a seventh round guy who is not near the player Chuba Hubbard is.
No.
So if we can trade for Chuba, I think that would make this offense even better. As you've seen, when we're running the ball in first down, we're averaging like 2 yards a carry. So it's not
It's bad.
necessarily great. And with Pacheco's injury, after he was looking a little better game to game, I wouldn't be surprised if it is a long term injury. I wouldn't be surprised to see them trade for somebody. But if he's healthy and good to go for these upcoming games, I think we'll probably roll the dice with what we have, which isn't exciting, but our passing game's so good, it'll all work out.
Yeah, seeing Rasheed Rice come in and what 20 fantasy points, 20 fantasy points. He's had what 3 touchdowns in 2 games. Like I seen the stat earlier. The yards, I'm not exactly sure, but dude is literally balled out coming back from. I mean, I thought it might be a little bit of a slow start, but in terms of fantasy production, this guy's gotten the targets and he's out there balling. So you love to see the Chiefs play well. Maybe this is another thing to talk, just ask you while we're here on this talking about the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes, quarterback one on the year. Quarterback one on the year. How are we feeling about that?
Feeling great. I obviously traded for him as we talked about, and
Yeah.
it's been nothing but great for me. Uh, I think with Rasheed back, we kind of expected him to maybe stop running so much, but these 2 games he's been back, he's still been scrambling. And
Yeah.
when you are scrambling as a quarterback in fantasy football, it offers you room for mistakes. Like Mahomes had two interceptions last night because of his rushing ability and his yards he's getting game to game. It kind of cancels out those mistakes he made. So it just offers you a higher floor, and it really just takes those quarterbacks to the next level when they do rush the ball. And with Rasheed back in this offense, he has been electric. The It seems like we can make any pass, no matter the yardage, and always convert. It looks like the offense of old, which I don't want to get too cocky, but this offense looks great with Rasheed back in it. You've seen
Maybe.
it kind of open things up for Juju.
Yeah.
Travis is excelling now. He had a great game last night, almost had 100 yards. It's great for the overall offense when you have another receiver there that challenges the defense all over the field. So it's great for Mahomes. He's going to throw a lot of touchdowns to Rasheed, and it's great for the Chiefs as a whole.
It it's I'm not a Chiefs fan necessarily, right? I mean,
But
they
you
do
want to
good.
be. You want
I
to
don't really
be.
know. I don't know if it's a I want to be right, but I just feel like I don't know who else to choose. I don't want to be a Titans fan. I mean, I don't really want to be a Texans or Cowboys fan either, to be honest with you. So my options are limited, but I just like
Hey,
NFL.
you
So,
can be a Saints fan.
dude, never in my life, never in my life. Why would you choose the Saints? Like of all, I don't know. It's just a tough one to choose. To all the Saints fans out there, I apologize, but it is what it is. But yeah, no, the Chiefs are looking good. You could stream Worthy, all of them. I mean, you can play them all. You might even be able to stream Juju Smith Schuster out there, dude. Like you're talking about Taekwon Thor. It's a crazy look this year. But as we go through the lab report, let's talk about some waiver wire ads because there's a lot out there, and I think the top dog obviously is Tyrone Tracy Jr. A guy that should be out there because Cam Scatabo, a lot of people probably dropped him because Cam was kind of taking a lot of the work and Tyrone was injured for a while. But this guy was a decent running back last year, got a lot of work and looked really good at the end of the season last year. And then Cam obviously comes on the scene. Devin Singletary will get some work here and there, like he did with Cam, but Tyrone is I think that he'd be my top priority if he's out there 100%. Matt, how you feel about that?
Without a doubt, he's the number one guy this week on waiver
Yeah.
wire. I kind of see him as a guy you can plug and play, and he'll be a running back two on the tiers kind of the rest of the season.
Yep.
He's not going to be as explosive as Cam because he's not as physical of a runner as he was. But we saw it last year in his rookie year. He was a pretty good back all year. Towards the end of the season, he was getting 10 plus points a game. He's just an all around good player. And with Jackson Dart running the show here, he dumps it off to the running back a lot, and the offense just looks demonstrably better with Jackson
Yep.
Dart at quarterback. So I would definitely, if you're struggling at the running back position, which a lot of people are due to injuries, a lot of bye weeks,
Yep.
um, I would, if it's a fab league, I would dump half your fab. If
Yeah.
it's waiver priority, you just got to kind of hope you get lucky. But he's definitely the number one target this week.
Oh yeah. Within the Giants team and talking about waiver wire ads, I would even throw Theo Johnson out there. I
Yeah,
mean,
he's been good if you
yep.
are struggling at tight end for
If
sure.
if you really need a tight end, I mean, Gadsden would also be a waiver wire ad, but this guy should already be picked up straight up for the Chargers.
Yeah,
And
he's
if he's not
he's
picked up,
gone.
you're doing something wrong, because that guy, dog, man, 2 weeks in a row just balled out. But Theo Johnson, Jackson Dart likes to throw the tight ends, and he's throwing the ball decent, and he's throwing the ball a lot. And we've seen these last few weeks Theo Johnson's uptick in targets. So, I mean, I feel like that's a little deeper league there at Theo Johnson, but I just wanted to also mention that as we talked about some of the waiver wire ads. Matt, you got another one to add as we talk about these waiver wire ads?
Yeah, a close second for me to Tyrone Tracy would be Bam Knight.
Okay.
The Cardinals cut Michael Carter, which was kind of surprising. They're kind of having to jump through the hoops of cap space and all that. They're expected to re-sign him back, but Bam Knight has taken the lead role on this team, and their next matchup is against the Cowboys. And we've seen running backs against the Cowboys; they've obliterated them. The Cowboys' defense in general is just terrible. So any Cardinals option this upcoming week is going to be good. That includes Marvin Harrison, especially Trey McBride. He should absolutely tear it up. And then Bam Knight being the lead back in this offense, going against such a bad defense. This is a guy that's a must start after you pick him up for the waiver wire.
Correct.
I think he'll have a great week. Most running backs do against the Cowboys, unless your name is Jacrosby Merritt. He had a terrible week, but
Man, I'm out on that guy straight up. As you
yeah,
mentioned that name,
he
then
is
go,
he's
bro.
having a rough go of it as of recently, but Bam Knight, he's definitely a guy you can pick up this week and immediately start. Especially if you just lost Cam, he's a good replacement just right off the waiver wire.
I'm gonna try my best, but my waiver wire picks are low
Yeah, there's
personally.
no chance
So
we get him.
man, I'm trying. I'm trying. When you're a low waiver position, it just makes life hard sometimes. But that means you're good. So, but yeah, Bam Knight would definitely be a guy. I also want to throw another running back out there that really is more. You're not going to start this guy, but he's a guy that eventually could be a plug and play, especially with bye weeks out, or you can play him as a flex if you need to, if he ends up getting more work. Tajay Spears. I want to just throw the name out there because this last week we seen number one the Titans play a little better, but Tajay Spears had 82 yards and a touchdown, and looked better than Tony Pollard out there. Tony Pollard has not really shown himself like we expected this year. Number one, the Titans have been awful. But Tajay Spears is just a name I wanted to throw out there where he's going to be available probably in a lot of leagues and would be a guy that could at some point be somebody you could play.
Yeah, you're 100% right. His snap percentage has kind of just kept going up since he came back from injury. He's definitely a guy that if Pollard ever got hurt, he would be an
Oh,
amazing
yeah.
play just for picking him up off the waiver wire. Um, Tony Pollard could be a guy that gets traded as well. With the
Yeah.
Titans not having much success, we have a lot of teams around the league that could use the help at running back. So this could be a name he gets traded, and then you just have Spears sitting there with the lead back carries for this team. So that's definitely something to keep your eye on for sure. He's looked good. He's always looked good when he gets the playing time. He's just always hurt. It's like
Yeah.
it's like his
Yeah.
body doesn't want to play football. But when he does play, he looks great.
I didn't even think about the Tony Pollard getting traded, but that would be massive for Tajay Spears. I mean, the Titans aren't the best, but
I
that'd
mean,
be big.
it's a big contract for a bad team. So
Yep. Yep.
that's what a lot of teams will do if they're not having much success, no playoff hopes. They'll just kind of unload these big
Yep.
contracts. And they have a quarterback on a rookie scale, so they can obviously play with a lot of cap room.
Yep.
So I wouldn't be surprised at all to see him traded. Um, I don't know if he'll necessarily be very desirable, but
Right.
he very well may be traded.
I feel
Um,
like if you have a lower waiver wire pick and you need a running back that could possibly have upside, he would be a guy to go for. Along with, I don't know who you're going to say next, but real quick, I want to throw out there Isaiah Davis for the Jets, another guy that's that same kind of thing where he's getting more work. That could be another ad there. What you got, Matt?
No, yeah, Isaiah Davis is a great one. If Brees Hall got traded, he'd have the lead role.
Yep.
Braylon Allen isn't supposed to come back till week 10 or 11, so you'd have a couple weeks there with him at the lead back. A few more here. Christian Watson, I'll just throw him out there quickly. This
Mm-hmm.
was his first game back. He had 4 catches for 84 yards, so that's it's good to see.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, they have so many receivers on that team. You're kind of playing roulette with who's going to get the ball each week. We saw Tucker Kraft have a massive game.
Man.
So if that continues, we could see less targets to go around for all these receivers. Um, and then just two here that I want to throw out there like you said, Saquon from this past game dealt with a groin injury. They are going into
Yep.
bye, but if he's not healthy after their bye week, Tank Bigsby got some carries in that game and he looked great with them.
Oh
So
yeah.
that's a guy. If Saquon was to miss extended time, he could be a league winner. He's that good of a player. They traded a lot of picks for him, so he's a talented guy. So if Saquon misses an extended period of time, that could be a guy that you plug and play, and he's just as good, or it's just slightly worse than Saquon is. So he's definitely a guy to keep my eyes on.
Yeah, Tank Bigsby, a guy I feel like we've talked about many different times over the years. Just like you expected this guy to be really good coming in, and then all of a sudden ETN was awful, and Bigsby's now balling, and this guy's he's proven it that he can run the ball well. So if Barkley's out, he would run. I think he would do really well with this offensive line and this team.
Yeah, and something kind of to a lesser extent to Tank. He's not near the player, but Dylan Sampson, we
Yeah,
saw
yeah,
Judkins struggling with an injury this week. So if he misses time after their bye week, Dylan Sampson, he got playing time early on in the season. He's a good
yeah.
receiving back. He could be a guy that you pick up, kind of stash for a little bit, see what happens with the Judkins injury. If he does miss time, Sampson could be a flex play for you on a weekly basis. So it's just something
Yeah.
to keep an eye on.
You always want to have those anchors. If somebody gets hurt, you got another guy to plug in. Two names I'll throw out before we transition here. Just as some other people you could be adding, Keyshawn Booty from the Patriots. That guy, number one, Drake May's been playing really well,
I
but he's
love that
also a
guy.
guy, dude. He has touchdown upside, and he's gonna get targets, and he's looked good over the last few games. So that would be another guy to add. And man, my boy Bo Nix, throwing to Troy Franklin out there. They have that connection from Oregon, and they're looking good right now. Cortland Sutton got kind of clamped this last game, but had a few different pieces there. So Troy Franklin would be Troy Franklin. It's a tough one to say. Would be one to also pick up there as well.
Oh, I like it. I like it. Yeah, Troy Franklin. He's been kind of off and on.
Yeah,
One name we didn't mention, Marvin Mims got hurt. So
yeah.
if he
Oh, I didn't
misses
know that.
extended time, we could see Pat Bryant, who had a little success this past games, caught a
He did.
touchdown. We could see him get some more work in this offense, and then, like you said, Troy Franklin. He's a good player. He showed flashes. So we'll just kind of have to see who gets these targets if when Mims misses the time.
In thinking about Pat Bryant, Sean Payton did have a statement somewhere where they were wanting to get him more work in the offense because he's a really good talent, is what they were talking about on the team. So that's also something to just add more to that Pat Bryant ad out there. And if Bo Nix is throwing the ball like he has been, man, they're all going to be people you could almost play with all the targets going around. Well, there is our waiver wire ads for week 8. Now we would like to jump into some of the top performers of this last week. I want to start with one that is just insane. Jonathan Taylor. This dude absolutely balled out. And Matt, I want to say this as well. I honestly I heard somebody say this today and I was like, at first I thought it was crazy, but it's such a true statement. The Colts might be the best team in the NFL right now. It sounds crazy, but dude, watching Michael Pittman Jr. catch a one-handed catch and then catch another, like he was just everything that was coming to him, he was catching. And Tyler Warren didn't have a good game. Josh Downs just came back. Alec Pierce, I mean, and they got a decent defense, but Jonathan Taylor, I wanted to read off these stats: 12 carries, 153 yards, two touchdowns, two receptions, two targets, 21 yards, and a touchdown. This man in PPR had 37.4 fantasy points, and it's not like this was the first week. He is balled out week after week. Matt, would he be your fantasy MVP for rest of the season? Do you think he stays this consistent?
I mean, this type of work is very hard to keep up throughout a whole season, but
Yeah,
I wouldn't
yeah,
have guessed it's kept up through 8 weeks.
man,
So if this team continues to have the offensive success that they are, it very well could be he's the best player in fantasy the entire year. There for a little bit, we
yeah.
kind of thought it was Bijan. Then he laid a stinker this past week.
Real
So
bad.
Jonathan Taylor just continues to succeed. Just a little more of his stats. He leads the league in carries with 143. He already has 850 yards, which is first, and he has 12 touchdowns. I think
Man.
what's crazy is we were talking about Saquon possibly having a chance to be MVP last year. It kind of slowed down at the end of the year, but Jonathan Taylor's almost eclipsed his touchdown mark last year, but that Saquon had. He's already almost beat it, and we're not even halfway through the season.
Yeah.
It is unheard of the success that he's having. He's gonna, I think he's gonna get 2,000 yards just easily, which
Yeah.
we thought that was, which it was absurd that Saquon got it last year, but Jonathan Taylor is gonna make it look easy. So it's pretty wild the success he's been having, and this offensive line is very good for the Colts.
Yeah.
So there was a play last game where he had 7 yards before he even got touched. And he's the type of player that can bust a 80-yard touchdown in a matter of a second.
He did
So
like it felt like 3 times he did that on
yeah,
Sunday.
and you might think like, oh, he only got 12 carries. That's crazy. But it's because he keeps busting out these long runs
Yeah.
that he's getting so little carries. It is wild watching him play and watching this Colts team who I don't think any of us had any expectation of them. We thought they might be okay, but we
Yeah.
had no expectation for them to have one loss on the season. It is absurd. They're the 1 seed right now if the playoffs started, and Daniel Jones looks like he's going to get signed long term.
Yeah.
This is not Pittman. Pittman was basically just out of everybody's heads after last year. We thought he was trash, and now he's a top 10 receiver.
That's
So
right.
yeah, and you got him. Credit to
That's
you,
right.
dude. It's been an unbelievable season. Tyler Warren looks great. Uh, you don't really have many flashy names on this team, but they just work so well.
They get it
It
done.
really is a good team. Now, are they better than the Chiefs? Obviously, no, but they are a good team.
I don't think they're better than the Chiefs. I will say that. Like I'll agree with you there. But the just explosiveness, which I feel like you shouldn't need this. Last year we wouldn't be saying this at all. Saying Daniel Jones went to the Colts. The Anthony Richardson, this guy's he's done. I mean, there's no way he can come back at all from this, and he wasn't good anyways. But it has just been an absolute crazy thing to see Jonathan Taylor ball out. Uh, he's playing like better than, but he's playing like he used to when he was that first round pick in fantasy football. It changes year to year. Number two in the running backs, a guy that if they would just give him the ball more often, they would just understand. Let this man run. The James Cook, 19 carries, 216 yards, 2 touchdowns with 33.6 fantasy points in PPR. James Cook, I feel like he's kind of been. I mean, he's a top running back this year, but sometimes guys forget about him. But he had a great game with the Bills. They mollywopped the Panthers. Man, I mean, what
Yeah,
can you do?
this was a game that a lot of the sharps around the league maybe predicted an upset, and they couldn't have been more
Man,
wrong. With
no,
the Bills coming off 2 losses, you knew they were going to come out there and just make a point that hey, we're still a top team in the NFL. And you're right. When James Cook gets the opportunity on
yeah,
this team, he always succeeds. He's such an explosive player. He's elusive. He's hard to tackle. And then from a guy that we thought wasn't going to get red zone carries a couple years ago. He never got them,
I
and
know.
now he's getting
Latavius
everything.
Murray, bro,
Yeah, dude. Leonard
so
Fournette. They
dumb.
they
Yeah,
just had guys that just boo boo guys that they let carry the ball in the end zone, and now they're giving him the opportunity, and he is excelling. It seems like no one can stop him getting in the end zone. So he's definitely an exciting player. I wish him the worst this upcoming week against the Chiefs,
hey,
but he's a good
hey.
player.
Man, I guess as a Chiefs fan, you should say that, but uh, man, James Cook, that's my guy, good old Georgia Bulldog. And then to mention a few names, we could talk about a few other positions. We have Saquon Barkley at number three with 33.4 fantasy points in PPR. Brees Hall, we should probably pause and talk about this. Brees Hall, 32.86 fantasy points. He threw for a touchdown, 1 for 1 in completion, which was kind of insane. But 18 carries, 133 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a little bit in the passing game. It's about time that number one, Justin Fields looked like he could be a capable quarterback. I mean, Mason Taylor had a good game, but Brees Hall is the guy we've been expecting uh, to just do well. And this was one of those games. It's like finally he looks like we thought he would. Do you think, Matt, with this game Brees Hall just had, is this something where it's time to go try to get him? Or, I mean, how do you feel about Brees Hall going forward?
I mean, he's been good this season. It's just when you have a quarterback like Justin Fields on your team, your offense can be so limited if
Yeah.
you're playing a good defense. We saw him have negative passing yards in the game. It's
Yeah.
just it's tough. We see this from Fields all the time. He'll have a great game and then he'll have a terrible game. There's no in between with the guy. Brees Hall is easily a running back two, could be a low end one. If you're struggling, you could go get him. He's a great player.
Yeah.
Uh, it it was against the Bengals defense though, so we kind of have to take it with a grain of salt. It's a terrible defense, but Brees Hall has all the talent in the world. If he was in a better situation, he'd be a top back in fantasy football. I still think he's very good though. Low end one, high end two. He's a great player.
Yeah, Brees Hall, I mean, he's, for the year, he is number 12 running back. He's had some games where they were down just because the team's been bad, but this has been his best week by far. And like you said, it was against the Bengals. Next week they're on bye, and then to be honest with you, the Jets have a rough schedule after that until week 14. It's Cleveland, New England, Baltimore, Atlanta. Some good defenses there. So we'll see
Yeah,
how he
they're
looks going forward.
the Jets are definitely in line to have a top three pick in the draft. It's not the season for them. I hate to see it, or they hate to see it, but I mean they're definitely getting a new quarterback next year, whether that be the draft or a trade. So it should get if it all just depends because with this deadline coming up, Brees could get traded. So
yeah, yeah,
he could find himself in a split backfield, which is never good unless you're the Lions.
yeah.
So it's kind of a wait. I would definitely wait if you are going to look to target him. I would wait until after the trade deadline to see if he lands in a good situation before you dump a lot of picks or players for the guy.
Yeah, definitely agree there because you never know, and that could change everything for a player if they do end up in a split backfield. Speaking of split backfield, all right, number 6 on the aren't running backs, we had R.J. Harvey. Finally, kind of seen him look kind of maybe what we expected as a rookie coming in, but number 5 there, Chase Brown. Man, number one, it was the worst week he could have done it because I was playing against him. But 12 carries, 73 yards, a touchdown, 3 receptions, 32 yards, and a touchdown. Is it time to believe in Mr. Chase Brown, Matt?
I definitely am because I have a lot of shares of him, so I'm
Okay,
I'm trying
okay.
to be positive about it. I mean, there's no sugarcoating it. He was one of the worst picks in fantasy.
Yeah, straight
Um,
up.
After they traded for Flacco, though, and the quarterback position's been better, he's had pretty much 3 good weeks in a row. Kind of the player we expected him to be coming into the season. With Flacco, he's definitely going to use him a lot in the dump offs. He's getting a lot more red zone touches just because the offense as a whole is better. So I'm definitely pretty high on him. They have a pretty easy schedule as far as running backs go the rest of the season. So if you can, I would trade for him. Uh,
Okay.
Likely the owner is positive now that he's had 3 good games in a row, so he probably won't unless you offered him a lot. But I'm pretty high on him. I don't know about you, but rest of the season, if Flacco, now it depends on if Flacco's healthy. If we see
Yeah.
Browning come in, if Flacco's actually dealing with this pretty serious injury, it'll be a whole different story. But if Flacco's at quarterback, I am very confident in Chase Brown going forward.
Honestly, I'm gonna agree with you with that. I don't. I haven't liked the way Chase Brown has played, just being a top guy drafted, expecting a lot from him. Obviously, you thought Joe Burrow would be playing all year long within that, but he's been terrible. until now. And so if Joe Flacco continues to play, and Joe Burrow's what? So he's set to come back in December. So I mean, playoff time maybe it get there. But if Joe Flacco is playing, Chase Brown, I believe, is a guy you should go get. But you probably won't be able to trade cheap for him now, just because of the way he's played. All right, let's jump to some quarterbacks here. Number one guy on the list, did not expect this. Mr. Jordan Love against a good, well, should be a good Steelers defense. Also, Matt, those jerseys,
Ugly. Is the worst thing I've ever
awful.
seen. Yeah.
That I don't know who did that, but they need to be fired straight up. Like whoever thought of that jersey needs to be gone because
it,
it was
it
just dumb.
they've become a meme because of those jerseys. It was terrible.
It was just awful to watch. To be honest, like I almost wanted to turn off TV just because of the just audacity of those jerseys. But Mr. Jordan Love balled out. 29 for 37, 360 yards, 3 touchdowns, had a 2-point conversion. The man didn't run, but 28.3 fantasy points. Number one quarterback. Matt, are you upset you traded him?
No, I'm definitely not. I think a lot of it was due to Tucker Craft. The dude's a stud.
Yeah, he's
Um,
good.
Jordan Love has been so inconsistent this year. That's the main reason I traded him. I couldn't count on him from a week to week basis, and I think a lot of that is their limitations at receiver. They don't really have an alpha. It's a bunch of twos and threes.
Yeah.
So if Christian Watson's going to come in here and become the one that they've been looking for, and Tucker Craft continues this play, then I might it might flip. But I'm always gonna basically say Mahomes is the best option no matter what.
That's fair.
But this is definitely promising. If you have Jordan Love, you hope to see it continue. You got Christian Watson back. You're about to get Jaden Reed back, so it could only go up from here. So it's definitely exciting if you have him.
This team's looking good this year. A name we didn't even mention, Emmanuel Wilson, did get some looks, and I think he got a touchdown. This is that right? Maybe it
Let me
wasn't a
look.
touchdown. But Emmanuel Wilson did get some work, and if Josh Jacobs is ever hurt, yeah, he could be next up. Just as a little streamer throw out there to just give you some
Uh,
information.
yeah, Emmanuel Wilson actually had he was only 2 carries shy of Josh Jacobs with 11, and he actually averaged 3 more yards a carry than Jacobs did. So it's
Yeah,
something to watch.
yeah,
If if Jacobs, which he always is dealing with an injury, if he goes out, Emmanuel Wilson is just another guy, kind of insurance back that you
yeah.
can stash on the bench, especially if you just have a guy that like if you have a guy that's not really doing anything, he's never going to crack your lineup. You might as well grab one of these insurance backs just in case we have an injury.
Exactly. And the Packers are a good team. So you want to run it back that they could get the ball to the 5 yard line and then run it right in. That's really what you want. So that was a name I forgot to mention earlier that I did want to throw out there. Number two quarterback, we have Drake May, 282 yards, 3 touchdowns, 7 carries for 50 yards, with 26.28 fantasy points. Drake May has been looking good these last few, really all season. Straight up, I'll just say all season. Drake May has looked good. I'm a fan
Yeah,
of this guy,
he
so
started
I like
off
him.
week one was rough. Other than that, dude, he's been fantastic.
Yeah,
So I'm with you. I have him in a league. He's been a no doubt start. You were a little
yeah,
concerned against Cleveland, and
yeah.
he looked like he has all season. So it's definitely exciting. Him and Booty have that connection downfield. Uh, it's an awkward name to kind of throw in there, but the Booty is really good at what he Drake May excels at, which is the deep ball. So it's exciting to see them kind of get the connection. But it's hard
Man,
to say. It's
no,
hard
it
to
is.
say that.
There was I seen a meme that says "May I digs in your booty," and it's just perfect for the team because and Stephon Diggs has looked a lot better as well. One thing about this, or two things about this team. Let me throw this out there and see what you think, Matt. Number one, Hunter Henry was balling first few weeks of this year, and now it's like, who is he? Right? Where did this guy go? So that sucks. But Ramondre Stevenson, Matt, or Travion Henderson, what is up with this backfield? Do you, Number one, I think this is a question for me too because Ramondre Stevenson's on my bench in Dynasty, but it's like, do you start this guy just because this team has played so well?
Yeah, Stevenson has actually been pretty good these past couple
Yeah,
weeks. Um, I personally have him in one of my leagues, and I've been starting him, and it's been going okay.
you're
Uh,
kidding.
in general, if you have a running back that's in the lead role for a good team, it no matter the skill set of that player, he typically does pretty good because they get
Yeah,
red zone carries. I mean, sometimes all they have to do is fall into the end zone. And that's kind of what we're looking for with Ramondre. He's not special, but the Patriots like him. He gets the carries. Trayvon actually had some pretty good carries in this game, gets in the red zone and then fumbles. He can't crack his way into the good graces with this coaching staff. So for this year specifically, I think it's kind of done for Trayvon. I think it's kind of looked towards the future. Now that being said, you definitely need to watch out. If Ramondre
yeah,
ever got hurt, he's definitely an ad for sure. But in dynasty leagues specifically, you may contact the owners of Henderson and just offer them a late round pick, and they may be so down on him they take it. And I think going forward, Trayvon has he's such a special talent that it
yeah.
should be a good play for seasons to come. It's just not worked out this season.
Right.
He hasn't really gained the trust of the team as a whole. But as far as skill of the player, Travion is a good player. So I
I
would
agree.
trade for him in Dynasty if you can on the cheap, if the owner is kind of down on him, because I think he'll be great moving forward. It just hasn't really panned out for him this season.
Yeah, I completely agree there. But the Ramondre Stevenson, well, I number one, I didn't expect this, but he really has played well these last few weeks. I mean, this next week he's projected for like 14 fantasy points in PPR. So it's like, do you play this guy? I mean, I've definitely thought about it. Not gonna lie to you. So I just wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah,
Uh,
I wouldn't
Go
be
ahead.
scared to do it. He gets the carries for this team. Travion Henderson had 10 carries for 75 yards, so he was the much better back in this game. But then he gets down into the end zone or red zone and fumbles. That's just what it's holding him back in this team. So I would be confident with Ramondre until you see a change where this coaching staff starts to trust Travion more.
Big trust. Trust in your man. All right, Jalen Hurts, number three, 25.36. And my guy, Justin Herbert, at number four, 25.28 fantasy points. Then we have the Joe Flacco and Tua Tagovailoa. How about them Dolphins, Matt?
That was
How
that
about
was
them
one of the
Dolphins, man?
that was a game where you saw Kirk Cousins come in and you're like, shoot, he may look good and a team may trade for him since they're struggling at quarterback. It looks like that guy needs to pick a commentating job on one of these networks and just go
Yeah,
retire, become a speaker about football because he looked terrible. And it
man.
it ruined the fantasy day for Bijan, for literally everybody in that offense. It
And London
was
was out too.
yeah, it was catastrophic. No one expected the Dolphins to come in there. We thought maybe Kirk Cousins was the better option to Penix. And then you saw what happened. It looks like he needs to retire and just go
Yeah.
speak about football instead of play it.
Man, Jalen Waddle, that Matt, that also, this is a side note, I guess, from the pod, really, but Jalen Waddle, I was hoping was going to have an off game per the usual. But it just seemed like you were playing me in Dynasty, and Jalen Waddle just had to ball out.
Yeah,
So that sucked.
that's something right there, honestly. Jalen Waddle, with the exception of the last game, Tua
Yeah.
had like 4 picks. He was terrible. But recently, Jalen Waddle has been pretty good. With
Yeah.
Tyreek
Yep.
out of this offense, he's the lead receiver on this team. He's been a guy that I can trust on a week to week basis. So I'm ecstatic about Waddle. He's always been that good. He's just been
Right.
behind Tyreek Hill. So it's great to see him succeed again in fantasy football.
He's a receiver, too, honestly, that you can play every week. Well, I guess it depends on who you got, but really, to be honest with you, he's a guy you can play every week. Speaking of receivers, give you the top five here, which our guy Jalen Waddle is. Number 5 with 5 receptions, 99 yards, and a touchdown. Jamar Chase. Man, if you're getting 19 targets a game, dude, I don't care who you are, you're going to be a good fantasy option. It's just insane. 19
Yeah,
targets for
just
Jamar
a
Chase.
quick little tidbit. In 3 games with Joe Flacco, Jamar Chase is on pace for 300 targets if it was a full season. It is absurd.
Golly, bro.
It, it's absurd how much he's getting targeted. And I can't say I hate it. I love it.
I hate it. How, as a DB, like game planning for defense against the Bengals, let's put 3 guys on Jamar Chase because screw it. They know that he's going to get 20 targets. It's like, why would you not plan for that? I don't know. It just never makes sense to me. I mean, I know he's a dog, but cover him, bro. Take him out of the game. All right. Michael Pittman Jr., 8 for 9, 95 yards, and a touchdown. This dude had some fantastic catches. I couldn't be nothing but happy for MPJ being on my dynasty team. A guy that a lot of people I feel like don't believe in. So go get that guy out there. Rasheed Rice, love to see it. 9 for 9, 93 yards and a touchdown. And then at number 1, Mr. Troy Franklin, 2 touchdowns, 89 yards. The Broncos, man, they're looking good. RJ Harvey, J.K. Dobbins, the works. And then lastly, we'll give you our top 5 at tight end. The Tucker Craft, 143 yards. I'm going to be honest, I didn't realize it was that many yards. 2 touchdowns. That's insane. Travis Kelsey had a good game finally. 6 for 8, 99 yards, and a touchdown. Looked like the old Travis. Mr. Gadsden, if you got him, you're nothing but happy. 77 yards and a touchdown. And then we had Harold Fannin Jr., who got a carry for 2 yards, and Dallas Goedert. Some good names out there. Trey McBride was on bye, or he would have been up there as well. Just want to throw that out there, too. My guy. All right, Mr. Matt, I'm going to throw it your way. Give us what you got, brother.
Okay, so I thought it'd be fun if we just talked about kind of a game of the week that I'm excited for, and I wanted to get your thoughts on it.
Yeah.
I don't think it's very predictable what game I'm going to say here. It's the Chiefs versus the Bills.
Golly.
This game has a 51.5 point over under, which that's just amazing for fantasy football. There's going to be a lot of points scored,
Jeez.
so we'd love to see that. KC is favored by 1.5, and then I just thought I'd throw it out here. The Mahomes versus Allen record overall is actually 4-4. So it's very close between these quarterbacks. Allen has the big lead in the regular season. He's 3-1 against Mahomes, but Mahomes has the majority wins in the postseason. It's never been
The ones
beat.
that
So
matter.
yeah, yeah. So sorry, Brevin. Bills suck. Um,
Bills Mafia.
Going into this game, though, KC has a number 4 overall defense. Buffalo has a number 12. KC's number 5 overall offense. Buffalo's a number 3, which that's why this overall or over under is so high. Both
Yeah.
these offense come in scoring 28 plus points a game. So we expect to see a lot of points here. Top 2 quarterbacks in the league. Both offenses have multiple playmakers on their teams. The Chiefs' playmakers are a little more predictable with Rasheed Rice, Travis Kelsey. The Bills, you have James Cook there, but at the receiver position, you don't really know on a game-to-game basis who's going to have the big week. This past week, it was Shakir. He broke the
Yeah.
long touchdown. But Dalton Kincaid's had a good year. So I kind of just wanted to ask you, well, first off,
Okay.
if you're excited about the game, and then second off, which players in this game do you think are going to have the biggest fantasy impact?
Man, that's a tough question within this game because it's like you have 30 weapons on both teams combined, and it's like which guy is going to be the top dog coming out. Number one, yes, I am excited for this Chiefs Bills game, 100%. Even as like I don't really have anything to pull from on either side necessarily. But it is awesome when you can just watch high octane offenses play each other, especially in a rivalry at this point, just because of how many times they've met in the playoffs. And truly, number one, I'll say this: I think the Chiefs will win this game. I think the Chiefs are hard to beat. No, I mean it's just true, man. It's with Rasheed Rice, Xavier Worthy, Travis Kelsey. The running backs throw them out the window. But with the receiving core, I mean Hollywood Brown, Juju Smith-Schuster, Tyquan Thornton, like even if somebody goes down, they still have some type of a weapon. And with this defense being good this year and doing well, I think they whoop them. Really, I mean I know it'll be a high scoring game, but the Bills have had some low points this year. And I mean, you look at the receivers, Khalil Shakir. Man, that one almost got me, bro. Keon Coleman and Dalton Kincaid. Although Kincaid's had a good year, I mean, I got the Chiefs. But in talking about the top dog of all of this, I don't want to choose a quarterback because I think both of them will perform well. But this may be crazy. Really, it's not. I want to say Rasheed Rice. I think he's going to continue to just ball out. And he is so good after the catch where he creates for this team. And they even involve him in the running game with Xavier Worthy being a deep threat where he could run loose and catch a ball deep and beat him deep. It opens up this field so much where the Chiefs could just play all over the place. They run a lot of screen plays, a lot of trick plays, different things. But yeah, I say Rasheed Rice is the top dog. I mean, what would you, who would you choose?
I totally agree. We've seen Rasheed. He's been in this offense active 2 weeks, and he
Yeah,
already has 3 touchdowns on the year. This past game, he had 9 targets, 9 catches. He's
yeah,
being used in the red zone more than any player on the Chiefs team. That used to be Travis's bread and butter in the red zone. Now it's Rasheed. Um, I think Rasheed being in this offense opens it up a lot for Travis. We saw
yeah,
that the past couple of weeks. He's excelled a lot. Um, as far as success level on the Chiefs playmakers, I would definitely put Rasheed at one. Then I'd put Travis at two. The caveat there: Worthy can break a long touchdown at any moment. This past game, we kind of thought that with Rasheed back, we might see the down decline of Xavier Worthy. He still had 7 targets, got you 10 fantasy points. So if he gets a touchdown mixed in here and there, he's going
yeah,
to be a good fantasy option as well. And then Mahomes and Allen should both be very dominant this game, even though we have a good defense. It's very hard to stop Allen with his rushing ability, which
yeah,
is so valuable in fantasy football. So I completely agree. I think it's Rasheed and Travis.
yeah.
James Cook is obviously going to be pretty valuable. The Chiefs are good against the run, but James Cook is utilized in such a way that I think he'll be good as well.
I was going to
Overall,
add
very
real quick before I cut you off. I apologize. I
no,
was
you're
going to
good.
add, I think in terms of the Bills, I don't think it'll be James Cook that performs what like best just because the Chiefs really will, I think, stop this run game. I think it'll be Dalton Kincaid or Khalil Shakir. Khalil
We
Shakir has been
struggle
doing real
against
good.
tight ends. Yeah, we struggle against tight ends. Nick Bolton, he's a good run stopper, which is why we're so good at that. But he's pretty buns in coverage.
Yeah,
It's masked by our DBs. But if there's a receiver on that team or playmaker in general, I think it'll be James Cook in the dump off game, and then
yeah.
Kincaid over the middle. Nick Bolton's not going to have a glimpse of being able to cover him. So I agree with you. That's a good point.
That if anything, if there was a top performer opposite side, it would be Dalton Kincaid. But Khalil Shakir is a middle of the. They play him at slot, don't they?
Yeah, quite a
I'm
bit.
pretty sure. So I mean, he's another guy out there that
Yeah,
could
and
have
he's an underrated athlete.
for
He
real.
can break a tackle and go the distance. He's a talented player. So yeah, I like that. I'm overall just very excited. If we lose, I will be putting my phone on do not disturb because
Man,
we have a friend that's a very big Bills fan. So that that'll be an immediate do not disturb.
yeah, you'll
So
get
yeah,
text all night.
excited about that game for sure. I've got a little game for you here, if you don't mind, if we
No,
can play it.
please
Okay, I know
load
you're
it
a
up.
big trader. You love doing it in
Oh
leagues.
my gosh.
You're never content with the team you have. You always want to be trading, which I admire. I don't have the cojones, as some would say,
Yeah.
to make these trades a lot of the time. So we'll do a little deal or no deal here.
All right.
Um, so just act like this is your team, and I'm
Okay.
offering this trade to you. So
Okay.
on your team at tight end, you have George Kittle. Uh, he's been one of the best tight ends in football over the past however many years, 5 years or so. He has had an injury. He came back. He laid a stinker his first game back, but this past game he had 14 points. He had the touchdown. He's going to produce. He's a great tight end. If you had Kittle, would you trade him for Gadsden, the kind of sensation we've seen at tight end? Um,
Wow.
so just a little bit for you here. The last two games, Gadsden scored 29.5 points and 18.7. That being said, the Chargers do have the 28th hardest schedule for tight ends coming up. So they're going to go through it as far as defenses they play. But do
Yeah.
you think Gadsden will still continue the level of success he's had these past 2 weeks?
This is actually a really good like a really good trade scenario to give. I'll be honest because this is something that actually could be um, done in a league. Are we talking redraft or dynasty? Just going
Or we're
redraft
talking we're talking
process.
redraft. No long term effects here,
Okay.
just for this season alone. Um,
Yeah, the Chargers' schedule is rough. Rest of season, I'll be real. What Tennessee, Pittsburgh, Jacksonville, Las Vegas, Philly, KC, and then Dallas.
Yeah, I may have said it kind of clumsily. The 28th schedule is the fourth. It's very hard.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it's one of the hardest schedules. So I think that's going to affect you a lot here in making this
yeah,
decision. Do you think he's that good of a player? Because we're talking about George Kittle. I know he's been injured, but
yeah,
he's a top three tight end.
yeah.
He's
He's
an
a bona
amazing
fide guy.
player.
He's a straight up dog. X rays came back. He's got a dog in him. You know what I'm saying? George Kittle. So here's what I would do in this situation. I'm gonna be real with you. I would make this trade and I would go for Gadsden. The reason, let me give you my reasoning behind this. Number one, the 49ers have been through it. They still, I don't know if Ayuk, is he coming back this year? Ayuk? He should be.
It it's hard to know. Is it?
Man.
He's. I don't. There's no clear evidence that he is
Yeah.
coming back, so it's
Okay.
definitely a worrisome with him.
Let's put that to the side then. Ricky Pearsall comes back, Brock Purdy comes back, and they look somewhat better already, right? But I'm a Brock Purdy like unbeliever. I would say I know he's a dog, but I'm not a fan. George Kittle will get his, but the 49ers have been known for huge game for one person, the next week they're done. And then another big game, it's ups and downs. The Chargers, they have had a banged up line. Their offensive line has been banged up. They just got Joe Alt back against a number 2 defense in the league, straight up balled out. They don't have their top running back. And Justin Herbert is playing great this year. He's throwing this thing a ton. With Keenan Allen playing well, Lad McConkey, Quentin Johnson. I mean, I know there's a lot to go around, but I like the explosiveness of the Chargers offense while it's down, like while it's injured. So for me, I would make this trade because the opportunity, I think this Chargers offense in terms of fantasy production feels more explosive than the 49ers. I feel like the 49ers are a one trick pony of CMC, and then some more CMC, and then Kittle might get some work. I don't know if that makes sense, but I would make this trade. Yeah, I'd trade Kittle for Gatson. I'm gonna be real.
I don't blame you at all. This is definitely where I was talking about the cojones. It's
Yeah,
it's a trade where you're trading a known commodity in George Kittle
yeah,
for kind of an unknown rookie who wasn't even a high pick in the draft,
no,
but with his physical ability and just talent overall,
yeah,
he's getting a lot of these first read targets in this offense, which, like you said, there's a lot of mouths to feed. But these
yeah,
past 2 weeks, he's been the biggest mouth. He's been globbering these targets. He's talented, and I
yeah,
think the quarterback play between these two teams is pretty drastic. Like you said, Herbert is playing at a high level. You got Joe Alt back, so the protection should be a little better.
yeah,
And then with Purdy coming back from injury, you don't know how this turf toe is going to affect him. And they don't have a good offensive line. So if he's
no,
not very escapable this year, with the injury to the toe, um, it's definitely a reason for concern. So even though I don't necessarily have the same confidence you do in trading, I do agree with
Yeah.
you here. I would probably go with the upside of the young rookie and kind of roll the dice on it because he offers
Yeah.
you a high ceiling. Now, it could be I think George offers you the higher floor.
Right.
So if you have a really good team and you don't need the explosive playmaker at the tight end, you might not make this trade. But
Yeah.
if you want an explosive guy in that position, I think Gadsden's the guy. So
I like to take risks in fantasy. Number one, it's just fun to kind of just see what you can do out there and be that GM that just turns it around and makes the amazing trade or makes the worst one that can happen. But like you said, I think you made a good point. You have to address your team. Do you need a bigger ceiling from these players week to week because your team's not very good? Or do you need a safe guy that'll get you a consistent 10? Because, I mean, George Kittle he's shown himself and he's a great tight end in this league. So it's like, why would you not play him? So, yeah, no, you made a good point within that.
I like that. This next one, it's probably going to be an easy decision for you
Okay.
uh, because you have one of the players that's in this trade.
Okay.
That's why I put him in this. But I wanted to see if you would kind of roll with the rook. So typically, what happens is second half of the season, you see these rookies excel and kind of
Yeah.
take the next step in becoming a good player in the NFL. So I wanted to see if you believe in your player so much that you won't trade for a promising young rookie.
Okay. All
And
right.
in this trade specifically, um, it is going to be dynasty. So I want to.
Okay.
I kind of wanted to throw a wrench in there because this player you have him on your dynasty team. So I wanted to see what you'd
You're trying
trade
to
for
make
him.
a trade through this with me, I feel like, or something. Okay. I
It's
see it.
not.
I
I'm
see it.
not trading you my player. It's someone
Okay.
else. So the receiver you have is Michael Pittman, and I know you're high on him. I know you're
Yeah.
high on the Colts in a general as a team. So the
I like
receiver
this.
that is being offered to you for Michael Pittman is Teteroa McMillan. And I'll kind of throw out
Okay.
the stats here. I can see it based on your face. You don't like it already, but
I don't, but I'm going to hear you out and think about this for real.
remember this is dynasty, so
Yeah.
we're looking long term here. Um, Rest of the season, Michael Pittman has the third hardest schedule for receivers in the league, and then Tetaroa has the 21st hardest. Um, so they're averaging points per game. Tetaroa is averaging 14. Michael Pittman's averaging 16. So you have a 2 point gap there.
Okay.
Um, as far as overall on the season, Michael Pittman's sixth overall. Tetaroa is 18th. So you have a pretty big gap there.
Yeah.
Their last four games, Tetaroa has had 10 points or better 4 out of the 5 last games. And then he's averaging 8 targets a game, which is very encouraging for a receiver.
Yeah.
Um, Michael Pittman's averaging 7 targets a game. There's a little more mouths to feed on the Colts as a whole. And then you're kind of taking a bet on their offense as a general if you think this is going to continue in the seasons to come. And then the next 5 games, so this is kind of a shorter term look, but the next 5 game stretch for Michael Pittman is pretty tough. He's playing Atlanta, which is a top 5 passing defense, KC, which is a top 5 passing defense,
Yeah.
Houston, which is the number 1 defense, and then
Yeah.
Jacksonville and Seattle, which are also 2 good defenses.
My
So
goodness.
that's just kind of a short term look at it. But I think overall in the long term, Tetaroa is a solidified one in an offense. I think the only thing that might hold you back in this trade in general would be the quarterback play for
Yeah.
each team. But I just like to note before this season, I don't think any of us had confidence in Daniel Jones being able to
No.
support a number 1 receiver. So we kind of have a situation we had with Sam Darnold last year. Do you think it's going to be a Sam situation where the year after he kind of revives his career, he's still having success like Sam Darnold is this year? Or do you think it can kind of flop on his head and the success they're seeing right now kind of slows down if this running game kind of comes to a halt? It's not as good if they have an injury here and there. Um, I think the situation for the Colts just it could flip,
Yeah.
and I just kind of wanted to see what your thoughts on that were.
I think this is, especially dynasty wise, this is a really good one to think on. Number one, this also, this besides the point. I thought about going for a running back anyways, and MPJ would be the guy to sell high right now.
He holds a
So,
lot of trade value at the moment.
so I have thought about doing that, but his age, he's older, been in the league for a little bit. He's been great, but the problem with MPJ is he's never had, kind of like Terry McLaurin, he hasn't had good quarterbacks, to be honest with you. I mean, he's had a few that were okay.
It's been a
Matt,
revolving door.
yeah, Matt Ryan, Philip Rivers. I mean, there's some names out there. They're like even older names. So for dynasty purposes, if I was not a playoff team, I would make this trade immediately because it's like, why fight for that playoff push when I can send it to a guy who's better than me and get a younger star for longer term? And I didn't realize Tet was playing that good with the quality of the team he's on. There is
He's
a side of it.
been consistent. He really
See, so,
has.
so that adds to the value to me. So I would make this trade if I was not a playoff team. I might even make it if I was a playoff team because the target share for MPJ is up and down. Tyler Warren gets a lot of looks, and if the game script goes where they go up quick, because that's kind of how it's been going, Jonathan Taylor gets the ball a lot. So there is a side of it where I might even just make this trade in general. You honestly kind of convinced me to be willing to let go of MPJ for somebody else.
See,
I'm gonna be
I
honest.
I don't want you to succeed in Dynasty, obviously, because I
Right,
want to beat you.
right,
But
right.
I was looking around before we did the podcast, and I was just trying to find interesting
Yeah,
targets for you. And honestly, if I was you, I would
yeah.
offer this. We have a friend in our league, Brevin. He's the owner of Tetaroa. I would offer this trade to him immediately. Um,
Really,
I'm not a huge believer in Daniel Jones in general. Um, I think it's kind of been a Cinderella story for them so far.
not
Um,
for a running back. You wouldn't use him for a running back.
no, I mean, same thing. If you want to trade him for a running back, that's okay too. I was just trying to look for a younger replacement for Michael
Yeah,
Pittman.
I like
Um,
that though.
but I think the schedule's very tough for Pittman, and just overall, this team offers kind of a volatility when it comes to its players because you don't really know if Daniel Jones' success is going to continue.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I'm kind of pessimistic on that, but we could have a Sam Darnold where he's just good all year.
Right.
So it's definitely a hard decision to make, but in Dynasty,
Yeah.
especially, you want to go younger, especially if you can get an alpha number one in his rookie year who should only get better. Um, so yeah, that's why I offered it. I think it
I
would be
like that.
an interesting trade, but you're right. As far as a contending team goes, you never really want to trade a receiver that's top 10 at the moment.
Right.
Um, but in Dynasty, you always want to trade them before their value's gone. And we
Right.
saw it with Pittman. He can just become worthless. He
Yeah.
was worthless.
At the
And
beginning of
now,
the year, I couldn't get rid of him.
no, yeah, he was legitimately worthless. And now he's pretty valuable. So you may even be able to get a better player for Michael Pittman. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, I
AJ
just thought
Brown.
it was interesting.
Do you trade him for AJ Brown?
I'm a big AJ Brown hater, so I don't
Okay.
I don't
Okay.
know. But that is the level of player that you could possibly get back for Michael Pittman. Um, Even if you had to throw on like a third round pick, which is basically worthless. Um,
Exactly. Exactly.
it would be worth it. It in my eyes to go maybe Brian Thomas. A lot of people are down on Brian Thomas.
He's young.
He's I think we both agree he's a better receiver than Michael Pittman in general.
I agree.
Um, and he should be in a more stable position as a team as a whole. So that could be a guy you look at going after. There's so many guys you could, but Michael Pittman, he has a high value right now. So
Yeah.
it could be a time to look at trading him. But like you said, if you're in the playoffs, if you're a high seed, you might just roll the dice and ride the hot horse.
You got my wheels turning, Matt. I might, man. You got me. It's trading is also hard because it's hard to let go of guys sometimes, and you hold on sometimes too long where it it hurts you. So
Yeah, which I don't want us to just crap on Michael Pittman. He's not old. He's in his
27.
second contract. He's a little older, but I don't know look up his age. He's definitely not aged out or anything. Um, it's just with a guy that you haven't seen this much success from on a daily basis. You
Right.
could look at getting high value back.
And with the quarterback, like you said, is it something where he can continue and keep this up? On the year, Michael Pittman is a receiver 6. He is 28 years old, been in the league for 5 years. So he's
Yeah,
right around that. I mean, I'd say 2 to 3 more years in the league of maybe high production, if that.
Yeah, receivers play past 30 nowadays. It's not like he's aged out. You could ride out the hot season because he could do this level of play all year, and then you
Yeah.
trade him at the end of the season. That could be the better route to go, that you don't miss out on his production during your playoff push, and you could just kind of trade him at the end of the season, thank him for his service, and then ship him.
Yeah,
That
exactly.
may be the better route. I do agree with you. That could be the better option there.
It's tough. You gotta take risks. You gotta take risks, bro. My situation, I have a lot of receivers. I don't have a lot of running backs, so it could be something where I sell them high for a younger, higher upside running back for better longevity this year.
Yeah, Avery might take Pittman for Kyron or
I'm
Pittman for James Cook. That I think
come on.
you'd have to add a little more on top if you wanted one of the best guys on his team. But
Yeah, yeah.
uh, he might be willing to do that because he's struggling at receiver.
Receiver,
So he might be
my
willing to do that.
brother. You're helping me here. I mean, I thought about that already, but he wouldn't take Jacoby Myers anyways, so it's okay.
No one's gonna take Jacoby Myers.
Yo, I try to throw them shots in the dark, my guy. Matt, you got anything else for us?
No, dude. Very excited for this upcoming week. It's been a great season so far. We're
Yeah.
at the halfway mark. Uh, we've enjoyed doing this podcast with each other and putting it out there for you guys. So, thank everyone for listening.
Yeah, our thousands of listeners and counting. Come on.
Come
We'll
on.
get them out there. Go ahead and listen to the end. It was a little long one today, but it's good because we missed last week, so we can put out a little bit longer of an episode. We will be back here next Tuesday, hopefully at 9 o'clock, putting it out live. And you can always find us on Spotify, and you can always subscribe and like on YouTube. Need to front load that next time in the front of the podcast. But Takeology, here we are again. Another week. Next week, we might even be giving you rest of season. Uh, who's going to be the top dogs? We'll see. We'll see what we got.
I'll tell you quickly. Rasheed Rice. It's automatic.
Dog.
He's a
Dog.
dog.
Dude, I'm. It's like the Thanos gauntlet. Putting Rasheed Rice in there was just beautiful. It was beautiful. Well, again, thank you guys for tuning in, and we will see you next week on Tuesday. Have a good one out there.
See you guys.